Wells should repurchase their shares if they feel that they're repurchasing them below intrinsic business value, and that's a calculation that they make, and you should have to ask the question of them what their calculus is of that. But that will determine whether that share repurchase program makes good sense or not. The advantages of an in-market merger can be dramatic. Sometimes it just causes a bank to do what they should have done anyway. I mean, I'm not always as convinced that the economies come about totally through scale as they are just from taking a hard look at how they run their business. We may have in the audience today, he was here earlier, the CEO of the Bank of Granite, which is in Granite, North Carolina, and that bank earned 2.58% on assets, I believe, in the most recent quarter annualized, and had a 33% efficiency ratio. Now that bank is $400 million or $500 million of assets. You know, it doesn't need to be $5 billion in order to get more efficient or anything of the sort. It's so much more efficient than any of those larger banks that had to be put together to get those ratios that it makes you kind of wonder about the underlying rationale. But I'm sure that Mr. Forlines, who runs that bank, just focuses on, and he's been focusing on it for a lot of years, just doing the right things day after day, and it didn't take any in-market merger or anything of the sort to cause him to do that. I recommend any of you in the banking business that get his report, because there is nothing magic about the community of Granite, North Carolina, nor does he work under laws that are way different than the rest of bankers or anything of the sort. He just gets a record that achieved a record that makes all the rest of the records look silly. And we had a fellow over in Rockford, Illinois, in the bank we owned back in the 70s, Gene Abegg, who his brother is going to be 104. There was a fellow from Rockford here that got me to sign a note to Ed Abegg, who will be 104 soon. I wish Gene had lived to 104. But Gene ran a bank in Rockford that when the best banks were earning 1% on assets, he earned 2% on assets. And he did it with way less leverage than anyone else, and lower loan losses, and big investment portfolio. And there wasn't any magic about it. He just didn't do anything that didn't make sense. And there's a lot of room for improvement in the banking business with or without mergers. But I would say that Wells, on the record, has done an exceptionally good job of running their bank compared to other big banks. And I would say that those two operations put together will be run a whole lot more efficiently than if First Interstate had been run on its own. It's a business that can be a very good business when run right, as the Bank of Granite or our Illinois National Bank in Rockford proved. There's no magic to it. You just have to stay away from doing something foolish. It's a little like investing. You know, you don't have to do anything very smart. You just have to avoid doing things that are ungodly dumb when looked at about a year later. And, you know, airlines and that sort of thing. And you know, that's the trick. It is not some great crystal ball game where you look into the future and see all these things that other people can't possibly see. I mean, what's complicated about Coca-Cola or Gillette or Wells Fargo, for that matter? And that's we like businesses like banking if we've got somebody in charge of them that is going to run them right. We've got I don't know whether Bob Wilmers is here, but he runs First Empire, which we have a good size investment in. And Bob just runs it right. You know, I do not worry about surprises from Bob or First Empire, and he'll do things. If he can grow and it's logical, he'll grow. And if it isn't logical to do something, he'll pass. He has no ego compulsions forcing him into some sort of action, and he runs a terrific bank. Charlie? Okay. Zone 5.